Hello everyone, Claudio here, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are returning, if you're new here, thanks so much for stopping by. Now, if you watch many of my videos, you'll notice that I usually edit and film from my studio, but today we're switching things up. I'm on the road, I'm in Utah mountain biking, and I want to show you how easy it is to edit videos on the go using Premiere on the iPhone. That's right, no laptop, no fancy setup, just use your phone and your creativity. So if you've ever thought, I don't have time or space to edit, this one's for you. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, I've launched Premiere on my iPhone here. If you do not have Premiere on your iPhone, go to the App Store now and download it. If you have an Android, it is coming soon. Hang tight, it's almost here. So from the home screen here of Premiere on my iPhone, I want to start a project so many different ways here, but my workflow is to tap on that plus sign on the bottom right corner. It's going to go to my camera roll here, and as I mentioned, I'm away from home, and what I'm going to do here is import some footage from my drone that I captured while I was out mountain biking with a good coworker and friend of mine here. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on next, so that I'm going to use these 8 clips here that I captured, and what I want to do now is rearrange them in the order basically how I captured them. So what I'm going to do first off, as you see here, and you'll see my finger cap says there's a little blue dot right there, and what I want to do is minimize that. So what I'm doing is basically squeezing so that I can see all the clips there, and basically now as I scroll through, I see all my clips. And so what I want to do, as I said, is rearrange them. So to do that, I want to find the first clip here that I will use, which I think it is going to be this one right here. Perfect. Oh, it's already the way it's supposed to be. Now basically, now what I want to do is actually trim right about when we start writing, which is about right, let's see here, there it is right there. We'll take off in right there. So what I'll do next is tap on that clip, and you'll see your menu options at the bottom. I want to tap on split, and basically that second half, boom, trash can, it's gone. So now I've got the clip where I want it to be, and there's a little movement from my drone right here to start until I positioned it right about there. And you'll see from far away, you can see us kind of just taking off. So I'm going to tap once more and trim that clip, and this time I will delete the first portion. And if you want to zoom in on your clip, so right now I have it set up on landscape mode, is basically go into the frame at the top, and I can zoom in so you can see a little bit of us a little better there, right about there. So now when I scrub through here, so let's go ahead, there you see us kind of out of frame, and bam, right about there, I'll do another trim and delete that last portion. And so this next scene here, as I was setting up my drone, I'm gonna do the same thing, rearrange it to where I want it right about there. Is basically the continuation of that drone shot. I'll tap there, split, delete that first portion. So let's see how that looks. Boom, and we're going from that. By the way, this is amazing views right here, and I'll stop right about there, and I'll trim and delete that last portion. Now this clip right here was pretty much when we got to the kind of the point where we wanted to be at, which was this amazing basically rim of this section here. And what I want to do here is this clip is going to be moved a little further back, so I'm going to tap and hold that and just rearrange it right there. That's how easy it is. And then this clip right here, which that right there, so we went from this scene, and now we're gonna go to this next scene right about there. So we're gonna cut right there, and so boom, we go from that scene to that scene to that scene, and we're gonna kind of trim it right about right there, cut it, delete all that, and basically again I'm just cutting, trimming, cutting, throwing away. This right here is actually going to be towards the very end. We're going to move that all the way to the very end, and then we have some more of our shots right here. That's kind of when we get close to that spot. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to trim right there, delete that first portion. So again, right now it's just trimming, getting to where I want it to be. Right about there is where I will trim this part. So much great footage, but again, I'm going to get rid of some just because I want to keep this short and concise. So we're almost to the point. That's with the starting point. Actually, that clip, boom, we're just going to delete that because we don't need that. And then this clip, we're going to move that towards the very second to last. All right. Now this next scene is basically us kind of lining across this area. As you see, it's right down the bottom left corner. So what I'm doing, just kind of scrubbing through, just moving along until we get moving right about there. And I'll trim, delete that first portion, and then you'll see us kind of go out of frame there and cut right there, or split. I'll use cut and split synonymously here. Delete that last portion. And what I actually want to do here is this clip here. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here and move this down in the corner, because I kind of want to see us coming from the bottom to the top. And let's see, right about there, you'll see us perfect. We start off right about there. So it's like a nice continuation. You see us kind of cutting through. We look like little ants, and then we kind of cut out a frame up there, right about there as well. I will trim, delete that, and then we get to the very end right here. And what I'll do here is, in this clip, we'll cut right about there, delete that, and boom, we kind of go away. And then this next thing basically is going to be the drone shot that kind of does that right there. So what I need to do is just adjust it to right about where this one kind of cuts out, right about there, because it got a little bump in the drone right there. So basically now, like, go around and we wrap up right about there, right there, right. I have a little drone bump right there. We're going to split, and boom, gone. So there it is. Basically, there's my footage here. About 1.5 minutes. Now, I don't want to speed up this footage because I'm on a mountain bike. I want to kind of have the natural flow of, cycling. And so I don't want it to be too, too fast. And so that last clip is just amazing. So now, one of the cool things here when you are adjusting the clips here is you can add transition between the clips. In this case, I don't want to. I just kind of want some cuts. But at the very end, I kind of want it to fade out. So what you'll do is you'll tap on, actually, we'll zoom in. Let's do this. Zoom in. And at the very end, you'll see at the very last of that clip, there's like a little see-through box right there. Tap that. That is your outro transition here. I'm going to fade out and basically get about 1.5 seconds there. So let's take a look. We're going to just kind of manually do that, and boom, it's going to fade out. Perfect, just the way I want it to. So this is pretty much where I've got all the clips timed about what I want it to be. Now the next thing you want to do here is you can adjust how your videos will look. So I shot this kind of in raw, in film mode, which is kind of like all the different formats have their own log format. So this is kind of the drone's log format. So I'm going to do a little color touching up here. And so what I'll do is select that first clip, and at the bottom we have our options here. So slide through here, and we're going to use adjust. But I do want to show you really quick, there's an option there that says looks, which you can immediately just click on it or tap on it and give your clip kind of a cinematic look. Think of these as kind of LUTs, but not LUTs. So you have looks, which in a lot of the Adobe tools we have looks. But in this case, I don't want to use looks. I do want to adjust it manually. So I'll go to adjust. And right here, we have the options. We have light, color, mix, grading, vignetting, grain. So you can get as creative as you want with your clips here. In this case, I don't want to brighten it up, but I want to add a little bit of contrast here to my clip. Maybe bring the shadows down just a tad bit, not too much. Now, I do want to go to my color, because again, it's kind of log. So I want to give it a little bit of vibrance to my shots here. I'm just going to go over. I went really too hard. I'm going to bring that down a bit. Now you can do your saturation, of oversaturated, desaturated. So whichever you want. I'm going to bring up a little bit of that saturation. Maybe what I'll do is bring up some of the highlights in this clip, and let's go. Let's see, if I bring down exposure, I don't want it too high, but it still looks too green for me. So I'll go back to color and go to tint, and maybe just raise the tint a bit. Maybe the temperature, bring it up just a tad bit, because we are kind of like in the lower desert of Utah. So just bring up a tad bit there. And let's see, the mix, maybe bring the greens. I can saturate, like bring the greens up a bit here. You can adjust that. And then maybe bring the browns, saturate up a bit. Yeah, it's getting closer, but it's like, I don't know, close enough. I'm happy with it. Now, here's a cool feature here in Premiere on your iPhone is once you get the colors to where you want it to be, you can apply it to all the other clips by tapping on that little, like 3 little boxes with a check mark. Just tap there. It now says color settings apply to all. So now let's take a look as we go through. Oh, that one looks fantastic. Like that color. And then there, pretty much. I think with the first one, because we were kind of facing the sun, but you know what? I'll take it. And then we get to here. Yeah, fantastic. And then we get to this last part, just gorgeous. And then right there, and then boom, going around. Oh, this is, it came out just the way I wanted to. Now, I've pretty much got this done. Now, I do want to show you, just because I did mention it, if you wanted to speed up clips, which you could, as long as it's a video, when you tap on a video at the bottom, you'll see there's a speed option, which you can speed up footage by increasing it. You can even slow it down, so go reverse. But in this case, you know, I'll show you, and you'll see the time, you'll see your clip kind of minimized there, so it went from like 30 seconds to 12. But you know, that's like, it's gonna go like too fast, and I don't want it to be that fast. Right here, actually, it's not too bad, so maybe bring it down to half of that. I thought it was gonna look worse than that, but it actually wasn't too bad. So let's see here. Okay, I'm kind of going to go 1.5. It still looks decent. Still looks droney. I just made up a word. So again, that's your speed. You could also go reverse if you need to. Let's just have a little fun there if I go reverse. So it's reversing for me. So if I hit play, it might still be processing here, but basically it's going to play the clip in reverse. So basically what I'm going to do here is just go back to forward. So basically you can go reverse, forward, reverse, forward. So we would basically be writing backwards. Okay, what I'm going to go back to this first one, just because of the way the other ones look. I'm just going to bring up the shadows a bit. Whites, maybe for my whites up. Nah, that's too much. Maybe do that. Exposure up just a little tad bit. Again, the sun was facing that direction, so the drone, hindsight, I probably should have shot it a little bit. I just love that view right there. So I will accept it. I will take that. Now, there's no audio captured in my drone because I want to have like a nice cool sound effect or soundtrack. And so to do that, we're going to bring it back to the front. We're going to move the playhead all the way to the beginning, tap on the blue plus sign, and you see the music button right here. So you can select soundtracks, voiceover, sound effects from your music. Now I have files of music that I use. So let's go ahead. I think I'm going to go ahead and use that one right there. It's already set up right here. And basically because the music is already there, I'll just hit play. And let's see here. I think my volume, let's turn it up a tad bit. No, it's up. Let's see here. There it is. So what I'm going to do here is just trim that music a bit until it starts to get kind of a little upbeat there. So I want it to like really start boom right away. There we go. Now we're going to scroll or scrub through. Basically, let's see here. Let's play here. Actually, let's trim right there. Let's split. Throw that first portion away. And let's go ahead and drag this one up to the front. And I'm going to zoom in here, go towards the very end. And we're going to just drag this here. Now, the cool thing here is you have options for fade. Sorry there. We're going to fade this out. We're going to go to audio fade. You can fade in and fade out. I'm going to go fade out because I have it dipping the video. So when I hit fade out, the music will fade out a little bit afterwards. It's kind of like just kind of my style right now. And so we'll hit play. And just so the music kind of plays a little bit, tails off there. That's just kind of, again, my style. Now, pretty cool. Now, what I'll do here is if I want to just add like a voiceover just to talk about a little bit what's happening here. So what you'll want to do is tap on that blue plus sign and you've got the voiceover here. So you'll tap on voiceover and you have there the button there. You get a 3-second countdown. I'm just going to do a quick voiceover for the first scene. I'm not going to put a voiceover for the entire one because actually I don't want a voiceover here. I just want people to watch. But I'll just do a little demo here. 3, 2, 1. This is our bike riding at Gooseberry Mesa near Hurricane, Utah. So I'm just gonna let that sit there. And just to show you, you have option here. So I'm gonna hit or actually, let's zoom in, and you'll see where I kind of started talking right there. The timeline kind of has a little valley, and then all of a sudden it's got a peak. That's where I started to talk. And what I'm going to do next is go to the plus sign, and there's an option there for titles and captions, which is fantastic. Just tap on that captions right there. Now, if you want to add titles, like for an intro, let me go back here. If you hit, let's go to titles. So right here, you can add a title here, but it's just, that's again, a personal preference. So what I want to do plus sign, caption, and right there it says replace existing. I don't have any captions. I just leave it defaulted like that and then create the captions. And it should not take, look at that, boom, immediately like that. I'll go ahead and play. Now the music's a little too loud, so we're going to do this. We're going to go back down to the music, go to volume from music, and we're going to bring the volume down. Now this will vary depending on your voice and depending on the music that you select. And then I'm going to go to my voiceover and tap on volume and increase that volume for my voiceover because I want my voice to be heard. There's no ducking option right now in Premiere on your iPhone, so this is kind of the workaround. And then what I'll do is scrub that back and hit play. Okay, and then if you need to make a typographical correction, grammatical correction. So for example, right now, Gooseberry Mesa near Hurricane, Utah. So right there it says hurricane, and it's pronounced hurricane. That's how the locals say it. I was taught that. We go to edit caption, and boom, right there. Now, I'm not going to worry about my capitalizations because I want to show you this next thing. Right there at the bottom, it says style. Tap on style. And so you have these styles to choose from. This is my preference right there. So I go to that option, and then I go to font. And this is just my, again, style, my preference. I go all caps. It's just the way, that's just my style. Now, at the moment, you have these options, right? These fonts, excuse me. So you want to go with the fonts that are there. And then if you want to, let's go back. You can change the color of that background. I just like that black. You can also change the opacity there, but I'm going to leave it where it's at. Layout, left, center, or right align. Just leave it where it's at. And look at that. This is bike riding at Gooseberry Mesa there. Boom. So again, I just want to do a quick demo of the voiceover and captions. So that's how to do that. Now, what I'm going to do is actually, let's go to voiceover, volume. I'm just going to slide it all the way down, or you can just tap on mute and now your entire voiceover is muted. We're going to go to this right here to my captions. I can delete it, or I can go down to opacity and bring it all the way down. Oh, slide it. There we go. So I can hide it. So I still have the captions there. I'm just going to hide them for now. And so if I want to bring them back later, I can. Okay, I think we're almost down to the very end here. So my next step is I need to get this out for others to see. And so to do that, there's a little arrow on the top right corner. But before I do that, just a quick show you how on the top menu options, you have that button right there that's got a square with like these four corners. You tap that, you basically go full screen so you can see. Since I shot this in landscape, my phone will switch like that. So that's if you want to see a full screen. Also, if you tap this button right there, you get the aspect ratio, so you can change it out. So I can go from landscape to vertical. So if you notice, it kind of gives you like a blur effect. So to kind of, what I do for that is I'll go over to that clip and choose fill. And so basically now it fills the scene. So I might need to do some adjusting, but then I have to go through each one. So right now, the options to do that, like to copy it, you have to do it to each one because you have to adjust it the way it is. So I'm going to go reverse. Let's go back here. Okay, so I'm back. So now let's go ahead and export this out so that others can see this. I'm going to tap on that export button. I shot it in 4K. I'm going to leave it in what frame rate it is. It gives me the file size, estimated file size. I'm going to go ahead and let this process, and then I can share it out all the platforms that I want to. And I can always go back and resize this with a different aspect ratio, because most of the time I'll share something like this on Instagram as a story or as a reel. So I want to change it up. So I'll do that vertically. While it's also processing here, is you can see at the bottom it says keep the app open, your iPhone unlocked until export is finished. So you do want to wait for that to happen. So we'll be right back here once it's done. Okay, so now it is done. You get the confetti showing you that it's completed. You can tap on share right there and choose where to share it, all the different spots. I'll go ahead and close that out. and you can view in photos. I'm going to go ahead and just close this out. And I do want to show one more thing before we close out here. So again, my video is now on my camera roll, so I can go ahead and share it out. I'm going to tap on the arrow pointing up again once more, because I do want to show you that there's an option right here. This is Premiere Desktop Beta. So you can send this project. This is like a really cool feature here. You can tap on send this project to your computer, basically to Premiere Desktop. Now you do have to have the beta. This is only in beta right now, but basically all your layering, all the sound effects, all the captioning, everything, all in layers will be sent to Premiere on your desktop. So if you want to get into like ramping for your videos, you know, get a little more creative, you can do that. I'm going to just share with you all that I've just been having tons of fun with Premiere on the iPhone. It's just been amazing. Be able to create on the go. You see, as I mentioned, I'm right here in this cabin right now, and this was captured yesterday, so I can go ahead and edit this like right on my iPhone, which is super amazing. And that is it, a complete edit from start to finish using Premiere on the iPhone. So the next time you're traveling or just away from your desk, remember, you've got a full editing studio right here in the palm of your hand. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like it, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified for more videos like this in the future. And if you're looking for something more, the Premiere on the iPhone, just let me know in the comments and I'll work on another video. Thanks for watching so much. Until next time, have fun creating.